Hello, everyone. Happy New Year's Eve to you. Last day of the year, and I wasn't planning on doing a video today. As you can tell, I'm normally in a black t-shirt. Uh, I couldn't shake a thought, and it was this thought that stuck with me from last night to this morning. I did a couple of pickups today. Brought the kids with me because they were home, and came back and thought I have to make this video, and it has to be today. And the thought that's been bugging me since last night is the fact that a lot of us will feel the need to make something of this transition from 31st of December to the 1st of Jan. The cliche as it may sound, New Year's resolutions, New Year, new. It places a pressure that forces us to decide whether we make something of it or laugh the concept off and continue as per normal. We spend so many years dealing with this pressure that sometimes we find ourselves just reverting to the normal way we deal with it. So if you're someone who brushes it off, you might go, whatever, it's just another day. And for those of us who feel the need to make something of it, every year we want to make something, want to make something, want to make something. We may fail, we pick it up, fail, pick it up, fail, pick it up. But the fact is, these 2 days every year put people in a place where they need to make a decision about how they conduct themselves going forward. And it got me thinking about how there are so many voices that comment on this transition. They comment, they say things like, oh, you'll never keep your New Year's resolutions anyways. Or they'll comment on, didn't you make the same resolution last year? Or they'll comment, I'll believe it when I see it. Or they'll comment, why do you do this to yourself? Every year you do it, fine, you make some progress, but seriously, we don't see you anymore. We don't recognize who you are. At the end of the day, people don't like change. And if anyone has been in a job where they wanted to make change, there is this thing called the status quo that pushes down on anybody's desire to make change. Because the fact is, change is hard for anybody. And trying to get people involved in this thing called change that you want to initiate is more oftentimes annoying rather than inspiring. Because at the end of the day, but the thing is, people want to see inspiration. They want to see the change due. So there is this period, right, where you say you want to do something different, you promise or you paint a future with a better everything, and people go, I don't want any of it. So you're forced to kind of walk that journey alone. Maybe some will help, maybe some won't, but by the time you get to that point where the future is better, suddenly you're an inspiration. Suddenly people forget that at the start, they didn't really help you out. And so, two things come to mind. For me, heading into the new year, and I wonder if any of you feel this way, like heading into the new year, I don't expect help. I would like help. I have ways of using help if help comes along. But I don't expect help. And by that I mean I take ownership for the building that is going to happen in the coming year. All of it. I will humbly give credit where credit is due. If someone helps me out and gets me further along, they will get credit. I will not say it's all me. But the starting point is it has to be all me. Because the emotional pull of expecting help and not getting help, the emotional pull of trying to convince people to do something when really I could just do it, get there slower, and hopefully by doing it, inspire them to help me then. Recognizing that's just how the journey goes. And for the mental state, the heart state, to know that and to proceed accordingly, hopefully, I don't know what the word is, protects me. I don't know. Doesn't rock me too much. I don't even know if that's the right way to put it. It's like why set yourself up for an excuse to not continue? And I think that's probably it. It's like, if I expect all this help and the help doesn't come, I set myself up to use that as an excuse to not keep going. But if I go, it's all me, on me, I can get there faster with help, slower without help. If help comes, it's faster. If help doesn't come, it's slower. That's it. There isn't a setup for an escape, for an exit, for an excuse. And that's the first thing. And the second thing is recognizing that building a business is very much like building Legos. I don't know if any of you guys have spent time building Legos. I've watched my 6-year-old build Legos, and we did like a stop motion animation thing a few days ago. I'll upload it if you guys want to see it. It's pretty cool. It's like it was quite fun. The thing that I saw in that process, and I joined in and built a few things, was how engrossing building Legos can be. Building anything can be. Like there's an attention to detail there, because gravity works against you, and if you don't build it properly, it just keeps toppling. It's frustrating. Just the idea of you wanting to get it right. You want to build it strong and solid so that you can be proud of it now, and then if you want to build more on top of it or connected to it, it can stand. Why is it that when we do this thing called reselling, we don't find it as engrossing? And I think it's because it's not viewed as a process of building. It's viewed as this hobby. It's viewed as this thing that is meant to make money. And when it doesn't make money, or when there are seasons of so slow sales, sellers get rocked. They go, I don't want to be near this thing. I don't want to be near the negativity. But that's not the right attitude. The right attitude is to view it as building. You're building. And when you're building something, there are points where you're building a foundation. There are points when you're building walls, and there are periods in between where the whole thing is useless until you cover up the floor. Now you have one floor. Then you build again. The first floor is useful. The second one's useless until you cover it up again. And so being engrossed in that building process, I cannot see this not as a business. I don't know how to. And the fact that there are people who do eBay who say, I'm not in business. Business is too time consuming. You're spending time doing it anyways. So unless your job sucks and you're escaping it to do eBay, then eBay sucks and you escape to go do something else like watch Netflix or whatever. Like, what's up with all this bouncing around? Nothing ends up being worthwhile, really. It's just band-aids upon band-aids upon band-aids. And I think having this conversation, opening up the can of worms, right? I don't even know where I'm going with this. This video is not planned at all. It's just a starting thought. I've got whiskey and I'm just pouring out my heart here. Like, I have a desire to see resellers embrace this thing, because it's such a good opportunity to learn. It's such a good opportunity to realize just what you can do as a reseller, what you can do in business. I've learned so much about business just by doing reselling. I remember going to uni and studying macroeconomics, financial markets, and it all made sense in theory, but for the most part felt out of reach. But when you give me a Pokemon card and I see how many there are printed of it, and I pick a number and go, all right, between now and 10 years time, how many of these cars will be played with? So how many of them will actually be kept in mint condition? Like, I have the thing to hold. I can hold it and go, this thing has value today at this price point, but has more value here. It's a way for you to literally get hands on to understand how the world works and how you can generate profit and benefit your family as a result. I want more of you guys to see that. I want more of you guys to feel the way I feel. The way I feel about business, about income is, if I need money, I can go make money. I cannot stress how liberating. It's not even about being arrogant. It's like, if I wanted to make $1 billion, I have no idea how. If I want to make $1 million, I know how. I know how long it's going to take me right now versus maybe me in 5 years' time. But if I wanted to, like, if we couldn't pay bills and I wanted to make a couple $1,000s, I know how. It's not hard. And I think that there's a mindset shift that happens when you recognize that when you're building a business, you are building yourself. You're building your mind to see opportunity, to take opportunity rather than let opportunity pass by, to see opportunity. Yes, there are limitations in resources. Yes, you've got dollars in the bank account that you should or shouldn't spend. You've got things that you're saving for, medical bills, whatever it might be, right? There are limitations. I admit that. But there are people who see limitation, recognize limitation, and use that as a reason to not recognize opportunity. When really being in reselling is all about this, right? You recognize your limitations, you see the opportunities, and then whenever there's a fit, you take it. You take it. You take it. You take it. I remember when I first started doing like this reselling business, like as a full-time thing, and when Jenny asked me, like, how do you know that it's going well? And I went, because in the last 3 months, I reckon I've done like 1,000 transactions. Just recognizing, here's a lot that's worth buying, buy. Put it online, sell. Buy, sell. Buy, sell. It's all data. And like, for all the thoughts and insecurities and the doubt or whether you can do it or not, you have to go back to data. Data is evidence that you can do something. And so here's a video, completely unplanned, on the day before we take over into the new year, where pressure hits and we decide what the hell we do with this thing called the new year. I'm putting my word into you guys, and that is to remember that you're building something for yourself. Remember that you're building something for your families. Remember that whether today was the 31st or whether today is the 10th of Jan, the drive is the same. The drive should be to continue building, to continue working at it. Whether you see sales come in or not, there are slow sales periods, there are crazy sales periods. Recognize that you got those sales. Recognize that there is a pattern there that represents your business. And when you look at that pattern, throughout the year, we will break it down and work out why that pattern works and how it can work better, or why it doesn't work at all. But there's a consistency there. You did that. And you need to find encouragement in that. You need to find motivation in that, because it's worth doing. Otherwise, why are you here? Right? Like, I hardly consider myself entertaining. I mean, I hardly consider myself a great way to spend your time on the toilet, right? Like, it's meant to make you think. It's meant to make you reflect on how you're doing and to want to be better. And so, heading into the new year, we're gonna resume the weekly themes, and what better way to do it than to look at goals? So we're gonna do goal setting for a whole week. You're gonna hear some stuff that you're probably familiar with. You're gonna hear some stuff that's probably a bit left of center. But all in all, it's meant to be contextual. It's meant to be perspective required to actually set goals that you can achieve. And so we're gonna get into that Monday. Yeah, why not? Monday. Let's do it on Monday. thanks for listening to this. Let me know if I should do more unplanned videos, because this is definitely a different version than you guys are used to seeing normally. Yeah. Happy New Year. I'll see you on Monday. Bye.